G'day folks, welcome to Billy Metals channel. I'm Toby and today I'm out at Castlemaine in the Victorian Golden Triangle and looking at this fascinating adit here. So this is one the public aren't really meant to go into for safety reasons, so I haven't shown the entrance of it, but it's just behind me. If you do know where this is, probably keep out. So far it all looks pretty safe to me. So just in the entrance we've got a split in the drives. We'll take this one first. There's a shaft that's gone up to surface there. Timbering still in place. Not very deep yet. Get in here and you can see what's around the corner there. Yeah, can't really see up there. That's a shaft off the side and all the fillers come in. Would have had probably an ore chute on it. Now we might come back to that one. We'll go back to the junction there. Okay, back at the start. That's where I just went through there. I was going to show you too. Look at this reef structure through here. Heavily mineralised stuff. There's a lot of gold came from this area. Now, let's go down and see where this one goes. Bit of stuff's come off the backs. Not too bad though. Doesn't look like it goes very far actually. Look at the main drive, might be the other one that I just look at. No, yeah, got another, it's not so much a collapse, it's ground that's come down from the top, down a shaft or a rise. Swing around this way. We hit something there they liked. It's this little seam through here. Cross-hatched reefs there. See the faulting, the offset and the faulting in that one. Sneak in here a bit more. There, someone's liked the look of that. Must have carried some gold. Interesting. But yeah, it doesn't look like I can get in there. I wouldn't try even, well, you know, there's no gap up the top. And you see there's a bit of fresh stuff washed down. Stable enough here. But yeah, if you try to dig through that, it'll just keep coming down from the surface. So back of that little squeeze there, it does go around the corner. I don't know how far back it goes. I don't have the gear I need to safely explore that at the moment. Goes off into the dark there. Come back down here at some point with a bit more gear and some more backup. Squeeze back up here. Safe enough, this bit, but again, I would not recommend anyone comes in here. I'll show you the way they did the timberings here. Look at that. So you got your upright, your cross piece, and then you got wedges to hold it all together. Another wedge there, and then that's bedded into a little inset in the rock there. Quite a skill to good timbering. And they've had laths down the back there, which we can see a bit better around the side here. Might not be the most exciting adventure I've shown you, but get to see some skilled timbering in there anyhow. So that's about that. So not the most exciting one, but I'll bring you further in at some point. See where it goes. I'll come and have a little look with a bit more equipment and make sure it's actually worth filming. See a bit of pyrite in there. Little reef structure there. Someone's hit it with a pick there. But pretty cool. It's a decent sized hole. Clearly they expected to set up a decent mine here, and looking at the mullica on the outside I'd say there probably was. Yeah. Most of the workings are up above us, higher up the hill here. This goes in underneath as an ore haulage tunnel from what I can gather. I walked around the top of the hill along the ridge line here. That's the adit I had a look at earlier. And then just up here, this is a shaft that's responsible for the blockage down there. So all that stuff is washed in and basically filled the shaft down to adit level. and then that adit would have continued, and will continue up into these reef workings here, which I shall show you through here quickly. Wander up along here. There's multiple reefs running side by side in a complicated saddle structure here. And look at the open cut through there. It's huge. So that adit will access that probably in two places actually. The other collapse ground, or the infill ground, would have gone directly to it, and the longer one will come in at a bit of an angle. According to some research I did, there's a rise going up somewhere in there. Standing on jumping jacks. If I start yelling, it's because I've got ants in my boots. Nasty things, those. So yeah, they got a lot of gold out of here. There's a shaft just there. Little one, that would have been an earlier one before all of this got stripped out. Amazing. There is a very apt sign for this area. This is just nearby to where that adit is. I'm not going to step too close to this, but have a look at the timbering. All the timbering up there. Don't know how deep that shaft is. I'm not going to lean over too far, but might be able to see from that footage. Yeah, the timbering there. I wouldn't be surprised if it was probably 1930s. There was a lot of 30s mining in here. The 1930s mining revival. All on the fence. There you go. This one's got a really decent malachite running off down the gully there. So yeah, it was an interesting one to I reckon this is actually only slumped recently, because this fence is brand new. That timber doesn't look like it's been in the weather for the better part of a century, and the ground around it looks fairly recently disturbed in places, so I'd say that's given way. I'll go and see if there's any more interesting bits and pieces to show you before I wrap this video up and head off home. Okay, I did find something worth having a look at. This little area here, you can see up the stope there. There's still a bit of timber there. Have a look down there. I'm just going to be very careful where I put my feet here. There's a bit of an inclined shaft that just goes and goes and goes right down the stope. Looking at the lack of mullock here, I'd say that is actually a rise. It's come up from stopes down below. A really interesting spot to kind of climb down. Looks like there's a bit of collapse down there. All this stuff on the left and the right here is actually fill, backfill. Would have been timbers going down this once. So yeah, that's pretty cool. They must have found some good gold in there. They put a lot of work into this. Well, just up the hill there's an open cut. Down there it goes for a long way. I just knocked a rock that fell for a very long way. Up the sky there, and then you can see where that reef runs down here. And they've stoked it out right in under here to a massive degree. I'm not going to go in under that because there's a whole lot of stuff fallen recently, so no way knowing I'm sticking my head in under there. I'm not sure which structure is gold bearing, but I reckon to be this one here. Possibly a little bit more over through this line just here. How is that? The amount of work they've done here is just incredible. I'll swing you back around here and see if I can look under that gauze. You see that reef running down there? That's what they've been chasing. It's that bit there. That's incredible. Dangerous bit of ground. It'd be lovely to go down there and have a look, but I don't trust any of those slabs. You can see those big chunks of rock sitting there. One of those landing on you and it's game over. Yeah, all that's fill right up the top there. So yeah, much as I'd love to see what's down there, yeah, certainly not today. Oh, thank you for watching this video, folks. I'm going to wrap it up now. This really interesting little hill, big hill. I'll be back with plenty more very, very shortly. I'm going to open up a bit more ground at home, do a bit more detecting in various locations, and yeah, we'll be back very, very soon. Before I go, I don't know if you can see it, there's a crack runs right across there. So this quartz's ground is moving. So a bit of a crack there. That's all recent cracking. Hey, amazing place. Well, over and out, folks. We'll be back soon.